When it was first announced, I was so gassed for the Mario Kart 8 booster pack. 48 new tracks over the next year. That's basically double the amount of content added to the game that is technically coming up to 9 years old. That's actually crazy. Not only that, but they were bringing back some absolute fan favourites. We got Coconut Mall, Waluigi Pinball, Maple Treeway, and loads more, whilst also bringing in some new tracks from Mario Kart Tour, some of which are pretty great, some of which are not so good. And then in Wave 4, we got a completely new and original track, Yoshi's Island. I think this booster pass is a pretty awesome thing. I've spent so much time playing this game on my own, doing Grand Prix and time trials online and with my friends, so any new content is going to be welcomed with open arms. I'm never going to complain about a developer making a game that I love much bigger and better. However, there's one thing about the booster pack courses that are massively disappointing. And no, it's nothing to do with the tracks they've chosen, nothing to do with the graphics or the art style or the tour tracks or anything like that. It's to do with the music. The music in the Mario Kart 8 booster pack has disappointed me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Thanks. Now, for anyone who knows my channel well, then you'll know that back in August last year, I did a series of videos where I looked at the dynamic music of Mario Kart 8, music that shifted and changed as the player played the game. I broke down all the different tracks that had this dynamic and adaptive music because I believe that this aspect of Mario Kart 8 is something to be applauded, and I wanted to point it out to people who might not have noticed it. The thought and effort put into the musical tracks in this game is incredible. Go and check out the series. I've put a little link up in the corner here. But guess what? There is basically no dynamic music in the booster pass tracks. Why? And look, the music itself for the tracks that are in the game are really good. Like, I really appreciate how the music in the different tour tracks sort of reflect the city that they are in. You know, you got that classic French accordion in Paris Promenade, you got that EDM in Berlin Byways, and the techno music in Singapore Speedway. The music, as per usual, is great and represents the tracks that they're playing over really well. But there are only 2 tracks with real dynamic music in them, and that really sucks. Bear in mind, we're in Wave 4 at the moment, so we have 2 more waves to come, but let's look at what we've got so far. "3DS Rainbow Road" has a pretty neat bit of dynamic music in it. Throughout this track, the music is full of synthesizers playing the main tune and the bass line and all the counter melodies, with a driving drum kit underneath it all, giving the music direction and a consistent drive as you power slide round various planets, moving through space with speed on the iconic Mario Rainbow Road. I love this track so much. But something really cool happens when you get to the moon. As you come off the Rainbow Road itself and fall down onto the moon's surface, a little bit slower than usual due to the lower pull of gravity because you're in space, the bass line and driving drum kit comes out of the arrangement altogether, and you're just left with the higher synths. This gives the music a slight weightless feel to it, reflecting where you are on the course as you bounce around on the surface of the moon. Really cool stuff. And then as soon as you hit the Rainbow Road again, the music cuts out to start the last lap music. A simple but effective use of dynamic music to immerse the player into the world of the game. Next up is Yoshi's Island. Now, it doesn't exactly have any dynamic music in it, but it does have different musical stings and tracks that give it more personality and make it stand out. For example, in Mario Kart 8, usually a track starts with this little fanfare. But in Yoshi's Island, you have this little cute drum roll instead. The musical sting that is played when you go over the finish line on the last lap and you finish the race is usually this. But in Yoshi's Island, it's this. And then, finally, the music that plays on the results screen for Yoshi's Island is a completely different piece than usual. It's like a brass band and it gives it a really cool, sort of nice homely feel. These little changes and additions make you really feel like you've been transported to Yoshi's Island, and it's a really lovely touch. Look, even the coin sound effect is the same as in Super Mario 2 Yoshi's Island, which is where the track's inspiration is from. Also, just a little shout out to the music for this whole track. It's a beautiful jazzy rendition of the original Yoshi's Island music. And for the final bit of dynamic music, we're going to Singapore Speedway. The music for this track is made up of a groovy electronic drum kit that underpins punctuated and sharp, chordy synthesizers, giving a very modern and sort of futuristic feel to the music, fitting in well with the bright lights, the high-rise buildings and funky trees of Singapore. However, in laps 2 and 3, you actually head through Chinatown. And as soon as you go under this red archway, the synth changes into a more washed out string and woodwind melody, and it's joined by a guzheng, which is a traditional Chinese instrument. I'm really sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. Please, I'm sorry. And this instrument plays constant semi-quaver phrases that gives the music a sense of flow that is very different to the more punchy synthesized arrangement. This new arrangement sonically places you in the heart of Chinatown. The sound of the music has a very different feeling to the rest of the track. And there it is, the dynamic music in the booster pack so far. Look, I said I was disappointed, and I really am. Like, dynamic music brings these maps to life in such an immersive and fun way. If you want to see some great examples of it being used in this game, then do go check out my series I mentioned earlier. And it's not like these tracks had no potential for dynamic music either. Coconut Mall could have had different musical arrangements for the different sections of the mall. Ninja Hideaway could have done some really cool things sonically in the temple and out of the temple with all the machinery and the cogs moving and all that stuff. And then Mushroom Gorge could have had a musical shift as you enter that really cool cave. There are so many different things that could have been done and that were done in the original tracks of Mario Kart 8. And it makes me sad that we only have 2 here that really have music that adapts with you as you move through the race. We still have 16 tracks left, and I'm really hoping that they have some fun implementations of dynamic and adaptive music going forward. And look, maybe I'm nitpicking here, but this is Nintendo, and this is Mario Kart. I think it's fair that I hold them to such a high standard. So hopefully, they'll not disappoint in the next 2 waves. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been great to jump back into Mario Kart again. I've always had fun playing this game. When it comes to the next 2 waves, I think I'll dive back in and maybe do a video on those if it's warranted. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Really helps. Leave a comment down below saying what your favorite track from the booster pack so far is. And I'll see you on the next video, everyone. Bye!